Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we will see how to implement or how to write Dart functions in Appwrite. So this is the sixth video of our Appwrite series, and let's get started. So here what we'll do is we will write functions and see how we can deploy it. So in Appwrite there is a possibility of using Dart in order to write your Appwrite function. So we will see that. So first we have to go to this site or the Appwrite documentation and let's see what we have to do. So it says that we have to, the quickest way is to use this command, which is Appwrite init function, right? So I have already done it and I went through few obstacles and finally I found the solution. So I will tell you what we have to do first in order to get started. So by default, Dart runtime is not added to the list of runtime that is present. So if you try to do it without adding the Dart runtime, whenever you create a function, it will not show the Dart as a runtime option. So in order to fix that, what we need to do is we need to go to our Finder and then we have to go to the home folder. There we will have the Appwrite folder. There you have to first enable the hidden for files view. Okay, in order to do that you have to use command shift and dot. This will enable the hidden folders or the hidden files. So here you will see there is a .env file. So you have to double click on that and then this will open up in a editor, right? So in this editor what you need to do is you need to go down and find app function runtime. There you will see Node.js, PHP, Python and Ruby are added as default. Later what you have to do is you have to add Dart runtime. So now from which version to add? What you have to do is you have to come up this file and you have to go down and you will see there is a list of runtime present here. So from here you need to see what is the current version of Dart they have or the latest version, and then just copy this and then paste it out here. Okay, so this will enable your runtime. So now what you have to do is basically you have to close the Docker instance and then you have to rerun it to get this function. Now let's go back to our code. So here by default this appwrite.json file will not be present because you have not initialized the project. So first you have to do is you have to write appwrite init project. This will ask you, this will tell you which project to associate with. Since I have already done it, it says it is already associated with the current directory. Would you like to override it? Let's do that. So now it will tell me to create a new Appwrite project or to link it to a existing project. So I will do link to an existing directory and then I will select the project that we are using right now. So it is nodekeep. Okay, so then it will create this file appwrite.json. Okay, this will have the project ID and the project name. Now in order to create a function we need to write another command, which is appwrite init function. What this will do, it will ask me for the function name. So let's say hello world. Okay, and then it will ask me for the ID. So by default the ID is a unique value, so I will just press enter and it will take a unique value. Now it will say which runtime to use. If you have not followed the previous step, it will not show you Dart, but now you have the Dart option and you have to press enter and this will create the function. And also you can see here that it has also added the function to this project. So let's go to the function folder and you see there is a hello world folder. There we have a lib folder like we have in Flutter, and then we have a main.dart. Okay, so we have the general code, the code that is provided by the boilerplate code by the runtime. So here what we can easily do is we can just copy the code from here, okay, for our tutorial, and then we can paste it out here. So it says start function, right? So start is the entry point for a function. You will have two variables, which is respond and one is request. So the request will contain all the data from the request, from where you are calling the function. You can pass the data in the form of a request payload, and then if you want to send something in the return of this function, you have to do res.json and you can pass on the value. This will get sent to corresponding place where you are calling this function. Okay, so now once you have got this right, so here you need to deploy this function. So in order to deploy this function, you have to do is you have to write Appwrite deploy function. Okay, simple. So now it will tell me which function to deploy. So in order to select the function, you have to press space to select it and then you have to press enter. This will deploy the function itself. Okay, now let's go back to our Appwrite. So here you can see there is no function. I will just reload this page. And we have a hello world function created. If we come to this part, it says it is building. So we have already deployed, so it is building. So we have to wait for a few minutes and then reload the page. Okay, still building. If you want to see some output, you can go to this output part. You can select output and then you can see it. So let's go back. So yeah, it depends on the configuration of your laptop. So it will vary from device to device. You can also see how many times it is executing and how many errors you are getting. And then from here you can also change few criteria. You can also add cron. So what is cron? Is basically like a cron job means you can run schedule it. So let's say you have a app where you have to delete data periodically. So there what we can do is you can write a cron job and then every, let's say, one day it will check the whole database and delete all the unused data and it will do your work. So let's wait for a few minutes. It's building. So basically why we write function is, let's say your app is not working, right? Your app is not open. So what you need to do something else, right? And you can also call this function from anywhere, from any other place. So basically it's just a way to like automate the thing. Let's say you need to send a notification every time there is a new user created. So you can use this function to do that instead of doing it manually from your app. Okay, so the execution, the deployment has been completed and now we have the option to execute. So I will just pass on some custom data in order to see what we are getting. So it's a name and I can say Tanmoy and then I can write, I can do execute. So it has been executed, it says. So I will go to the execution section and I will go to the logs. You can see in the logs the data that we are sending in the res. So it says message hello from Appwrite payload that we have passed and there is no secret and the random number that it is generating. And the trigger is HTTP, right? Because we have done it from the database. But if I want to do it from the code, we can also do that. So in order to run it from the code, what we need to do is we need to do it like this. So in Flutter, you can just write, you can just initialize the client that we have already done. Then we have to create a function variable. So function client, and then we have to execute it. Okay, so function execute creation and the function ID. So let's do that. So first, before that, I will tell you, you may have an issue where the Docker kill error will surface, right? So in that case, you have to come to this environment variable again and then come to this part where you can see app function memory and app function memory swap. Here by default it will be 0 and 0. You can increase the size of the memory by writing 512 or let's say 1024. So that depends on your RAM, how much you have and how much you can allot here. So that will fix your issue. So let's go back to this area. Okay, and then let's go back to our main.dart or main.dart. Okay, so here we already have this client, right? We have the client. Then what we can basically do is we can also write this line, the function. So I'll create a function variable and then I will just call this function. So I will do a execution. Okay, I don't need to wait for it. So I will just execute, and then I will give the function ID. So I will get the ID from here. So I go back to hello world. I can click on this, and then I can put the ID here. Okay. So now if I want to run this, I can easily run it, and when I open the app, it will automatically run it for me. So I will just run it now. Let me check if my emulator opens quickly. I will run the app. So in this video, we will go through the functions at the way we have done. Okay. And in the next video, we will start with the storage functions, and we'll see how to upload image to the Appwrite storage. If you would like to see anything specific from Appwrite and Flutter integration, you can write it down in the comments, and I will try to make video on those also. Hmm. It's taking too much time. Okay, I think we can do it in other way, which is I can just remove this run app. So if I run this code now, it will do the same thing. So if I run this code, it will run the main function only. So we can see the output there too. It will work as normally as a Dart function. Mhm. Okay, let me see if we can do that or not. Terminal, and then I just write dart run lib main.dart. Okay, okay, let me do one thing. Let me just call this. Okay, let me go to the intermission screen, and then once the emulator is working, I will come back to the main screen again. Okay, so you can also skip to the part where the main screen is visible. Mm. Hey guys, we are back. So the build is ready. Let's wait for a few minutes now and then we will see the execution from the code itself. Sorry for the delay. The RAM is working at its full capacity, so it's taking too much time to do the compilation and these things. In the meantime, so okay, we are already running. So let's see. So I've recently published my article on device, so how to use the platform and how to generate your Flutter code. So you can check out the Medium article from the link in the description and follow me there in order to get updated with the new articles that I write. Hmm. I think we also have the option here to pass the data. Yes, so we can pass the data from here in a form of string. It seems like it will take forever, so let me cut this video short and this will work, so not an issue. And yeah, I think that's it for this video and I'll meet you guys in the next one.